Is it going?
It is going.
Hello.
Hello. You've had a bad week.
Oh, so much stuff has happened to me. What else happened to? Oh no, yeah, the accident thing happened. That was my fourth. So
Yeah.
after I posted that thing on Twitter about I've had my three, the demon come back.
Yeah. Bad things come in threes. Rob manages to do it in
I
fours.
do it with fours, unless I'm getting 2 sets of three,
Ooh.
or 3 sets of three.
That
What
would
would that
be.
What's the term
That'd
for
be
that?
a shit life. I don't
That's
know.
that's pretty unfortunate.
Beyond unfortunate, mate.
And a very hypocritical moment as well for me, wasn't it, really? After speaking to a friend of ours about anger management, and then the very next day, I have an anger management issue.
Well, it's funny because I read your stuff and I'm like, what are you talking about, the anger management? And then I realised I'd missed the message from last night.
Oh, you hadn't listened
because
to
I was asleep at that point, so I hadn't listened to any of that. It's like, oh, okay, yeah. We've reached out. Our friend is okay. Don't panic. But yeah. Anyway, that's not for anyone else's business but ours. But yeah, otherwise, why don't you tell us about your terrible, terrible week?
Oh, well, I mean,
the worst part was obviously breaking the Retro Pocket 3 Plus.
yeah, it's sat next to us now. Took it apart. I've got some photos of it taken apart. I thought we could post up to see how shattered the little switch is.
That's not bad. I'd say I'm disappointed it's that fragile. But then again, I'm not disappointed that at least Retroid, who turned out to be in France, I didn't know that, offer the replacement part for like $5.
Yeah, so they're in France, but it's all in US dollars.
Yeah, it suggests it's probably a Chinese company operating out of France.
Is because there's a lot of the Chinese writing everywhere.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Okay.
When you go through it. Yeah.
I thought you were going to come up with it's got a lot of Chinglish. The really badly translated English.
No, literally the symbols. I don't know what they would actually be called.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
On the subject of that, actually, I was like tracking the order, and they link you to this thing called Shop, and that's how you track your delivery.
Right.
It's like an app you download.
Oh, okay.
And it was like, oh, we need to access permissions, and it would be so much easier if you assign us to your email account so we can send you emails. I'm like, you don't need any of that. And then I looked at the permissions they wanted. I was giving them permission to look at my emails.
Yeah,
absolutely not.
Let's face it, you've already had a bad time with fraud and other web pages. So let's not go down the route of downloading a dodgy app that then also takes over all of your personal details.
So how has my bad week started? So I got scammed. That was the first thing. I got subscription trapped. Yeah, and there's a post on the website.
I was going to say check the web page for that, but it's a scam I'd heard about. But obviously, it's not something that would ever apply to me because it's so rare I go to a country that needs it. Yeah. So, yeah, it didn't occur to me that might happen to you with your plans on your abroad trip. So,
so that's 150 quid just gone. Impossible to get back unless the bank gives me it back.
I would imagine your bank will refund that.
I think hopefully they will. They've completely blocked them, so I can never make any transaction with them ever again.
Well, the fact they've blocked them is always a good sign. And then, of course, the thing is there's so much content online about this dodgy company. I'd find it very hard for the bank not to rule in your favour. The only thing they'll do, they'll contest it, which means it then goes back to them for a time period until the bank make their decision. But
I just like to cause the company a headache.
Oh, God, yeah.
That's what I'd like. So that happened, and then I dropped the Retroid, which is unfortunate.
Beyond unfortunate.
The L1 and R1 buttons, which managed to fix the L1 button. And anyway, brought new parts. I think what was the third thing?
I'm just trying to think what the third thing is.
Because it's just such a bad time. So many bad things happen.
Oh, it wasn't the tantrum, was it, that went on from...
No, I didn't count that.
Yeah, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m, was it?
Yeah, it wasn't entirely the whole way through. It was kind of like an hour, and then you get a little break. Then an hour, then you get a little break.
Ouch. A little bit of respite before
rough.
I then continue ruining your night.
Yeah. What was the other one?
I'm trying to remember. I can't actually remember.
Put it on Twitter. Shall I check Twitter?
You could check Twitter.
How do you look at your own tweets?
Top left corner, onto your profile.
Profile.
I mean, you can see how highly organised we are. I mean, while we've got that, Rob is the proud 5% of people that have completed the Peppa Pig game on Xbox now.
Yes, I have, yeah.
He was so angry when he first told me about it that he couldn't find this one thing to do to get the whole completed achievement, but he's finally done it. Peppa Pig and Rob Carr. It's amazing.
Do you like it's when you complete them, do they still leave a little icon on your profile pic? Like on 360, you'd get a little image that would stick on your gamer pic, wouldn't it, on your profile?
Oh, I hope it has on yours. That's going to be amazing.
Peppa Pig one on mine now. God, I hate that game. I hate Peppa Pig.
Oh,
it was my van key broke in the ignition.
Van key broke in the ignition.
And the thing about it was it was right when we had a Lawson's building delivery, because I'm having building work here. If anyone can tell by the echo that we've got in this room today, potentially.
No, I don't think it's too bad.
No.
But if it is, I'm sure we can fix it somehow.
But yeah, that guy was waiting for me to move in. I go turn the key, snap straight off of my hand. So yeah. And then I had the car accident today.
Yes, and notice Bensley will most likely laugh at you after we had this discussion that your old VW van has lasted so long without any problems, and then you snap the key.
It has problems, just they're all little problems, like the key snapping. It's like the engine hasn't fallen out. I haven't blown a clutch or like I haven't.
Yeah, to be fair, it's not a major thing, is it? So
No.
It could be worse.
Anyway, I think we need to get on. Let's get to it.
You know what? I think you're right. Let's get on with the intro music now.
Welcome. This is a very special show today. We have one man who's going to be celebrating his friend's birthday and another one who's going to sit and squirm awkwardly today.
Thanks for that, because people won't know this online or in the podcast world, funny enough, but I don't celebrate my birthday. I'm not a fan of it. I don't get it. I never really have been. I'm much more a Christmas person, which everyone will know if you followed me on Twitter for any amount of time. Christmas is my thing. Birthday, I don't really give a monkey's about. So, I'm a little concerned as to what you've actually got kind of packed in for this episode. I mean, I'm 1 year off 40.
Yes.
As of a week's time when I turn 39. So, I'm a
It's
little
cool.
concerned.
It's all really cool. There's nothing to be worried about. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Okay, fair enough. Well, just my little intro. Because it's a birthday party thing, I went and bought some sweet treats. Now, I'm not going to tell you what they are. I'm just going to pull them out the bag when I randomly want. Now, they're not disgusting. They're not nasty things. They're not cheap and nasty things. They are nice things, okay? And I just thought, why not? And I'm just going to quickly grab one. So you fill the mic for a moment.
Okay. I'm worried because you know how much I don't like those energy drinks you drink. And then you said you're going to be bringing food. I was expecting it to be something that I would find really disgusting.
No. I'm pretty sure.
Russell.
You're going to like this. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Russell. And I'm trying. That's just emptied them out into the bag. That's probably not a good move, but oh, good God, where is it? There you go. There's our first one.
Oh, yes.
Top tier biscuit action with McVitie's Gold.
And McVitie's Gold. Some ASMR action for anybody that's interested as we chomp into the microphone.
I'm absolutely terrible. I hate hearing people eat on microphone. What is it? Mesophonia. I can't hear people eat.
I don't like hearing people eat, but I don't
But just for this.
Yeah, okay, actually, I think I have that too. I didn't like hearing that at all.
But I'll tell you, these are the superior biscuit. I honestly don't care what people say. They are just,
Yeah, this is really good, eh? It's been a long time since I've had one of these.
Well,
you should have brought this for your 1 year thing.
Oh, don't. Yeah, as we'll get onto that in a moment, but so delicious. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm going to have to bite it again in a minute, but I don't care if I lose the Do You Remember thing today, because what I own, I can't wait just to play with Kay and just own and possibly put up on the wall sort of stuff. So I'm looking forward to it.
On the subject of Kay, we have our first birthday surprise.
Okay.
Happy birthday, Tom! Woohoo!
Okay. How did you go about that?
I've got secrets and people, and I know everything.
You've been messaging my wife, haven't you?
I've been messaging your wife. Me and your wife are on very intimate terms now. That was the first little surprise. I got Kay to say a little message for you.
It's fine because I was joking with Jem that I was going to leave her for you, and she said, "Oh, to be fair, as long as it's Rob, that's fine."
Yeah.
So that's fair enough. But anyway, so we're having our gold bar, and honestly, it's just delicious.
You know what? The aftertaste is fantastic too.
There's not one thing about it. It's just got the right amount of crunch, the right amount of sugary coating. It's just perfect. It's like I miss the days of trios.
Yes.
An orange, or even proper clubs, the mint or the orange club. No one ever bought that purple one, the raisin one.
No, because it's disgusting.
Exactly. You had the red or the orange or the green. They were fine. The purple one, they always got left on the plate. No one picked those. But I miss the day of good biscuits, and that's the closest to my youth of biscuits that exists still.
I'm just fighting off the urge to sing the club song.
Club or the trio?
The club. Oh, yeah, no. If you like a lot of chocolate on your biscuit, join our club.
Crunch.
Well,
You know what? I'd completely forgotten about that. So you would have won that with the
oh,
next
God.
one.
When the item I'm going to bring in from the other room is just not going to be good enough now.
Oh, I don't know. Knowing you've probably gone all out and you've probably won this. So
no, what I wanted to get, I forgot to order. And I would have won with it. I just completely forgot.
Right, well, you know what? I'm going to open up with mine then.
All right. Yep.
Do you need to go and get yours?
I would rather, it's only in the kitchen, so you do yours.
Right.
We'll
Okay.
see it, we'll talk about it, and then we'll get mine.
Okay, that sounds fair enough. Now, there's going to be more rustling because I've hidden mine in the bag because we've already got to the anal point of this where we both insist that neither person can get a glance of what it is.
Yeah.
So I want you to close your eyes, Rob.
Okay, yeah. Tom had to close his eyes while I brought mine down from upstairs.
And you're under.
And oh, no.
Do.
Do you believe in hypnotism, Tom? Do you think it's possible?
Until it's done to me, no.
Okay.
I think people are
Look
susceptible
into my eyes,
to
not around
these.
their eyes, into the eyes.
Oh, don't. Right, okay. And you can open your eyes.
Oh, Pogs.
Not just
I'm
Pog,
so
the
sorry.
Pog board game.
Well, the Pogs I thought of yesterday.
No.
Genuinely, because there's a program and it starts with Pog. It's like Pogling or something.
No.
And I was like, are they just ripping off Pogs? But I've never even heard of the Pog game, like a board game of Pogs.
It was a huge rip-off. It was basically massively hammering in on the fact that everyone loved Pogs, because all you really get in there is this flat board that the Pogs go on, and that's it, and some Pogs and some slammers. So realistically, when you went and bought those blind bags of Pogs, you could play the game without this.
I like how it's got 100 unique Pogs only available in the game.
Yeah,
Says on the
exactly.
top.
So that they made sure that they...
Let's look inside. Open it up and let's have a look inside.
Yeah, go for it. So they made sure that the collectors got what they wanted. They got Pogs they couldn't buy anywhere else. Now,
look at
I
it.
remember when the Pogs came out.
Give it a
and,
smell, everybody.
it was just after kind of mini Boglins had really
Yeah.
started to finish up, and I'd collected those, and then Ramesh got these in. And Ramesh, if we haven't spoken about, is our
Look at it.
just our
Tom.
legendary news agent. And he started selling these, and they used to come in, I guess, what kind of looked like sticker packets almost, didn't they? They were blind bags at the time, and inside I think you got 6 Pogs and a slammer
Yes.
for £1.
Oh, God. You've got to take a picture of that so people just say
Oh
that
yeah,
is incredible.
we will get this up, and in fact, I'm almost tempted to say the next time it's a bit daylight, or if we get time tonight,
We've got to
we
play
need
it.
to have a game of Pogs that we can put up on YouTube. But yeah, I remember buying the blind bags from Ramesh. They were £1 a time, and I used to have this collection of slammers, and they used to kind of be holographic or different images. And then you had the Pogs themselves. I didn't really care about. It was the slammer that I cared about.
Is he a caveman?
I've got no idea what he is,
Look at how he's got gross feet.
but he's kind of a generic kind of caveman idea, isn't he? He's up there with like Captain Caveman from the 60s and 70s cartoon Hanna-Barbera. But yeah, I saw this and thought, I've got to have this because I haven't played Pogs in years. I want to go through all the Pogs and kind of vaguely. It's up there with Tazos as well. If you remember Tazos having a bag of walkers and, I've got one.
Yeah, yeah.
And they were like all Warner Brothers, and there were Star Trek ones, which
Yeah.
I may have bid on online to see if I get the Star Trek collection.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
Go on then. Right, I'm going to
the
keep
noise,
holding the mic
everybody.
while Rob disappears off to the kitchen to
Close
come
your
back with
eyes.
something. I've got to close my eyes, so I'm just imagining playing Pogs at the moment in the playground, and it hurts because there's no friends, and sad time. No, actually, I had a lot of friends. Okay, I'm lying. I had some friends, but we did play Pogs, and we did play it.
It's hot.
It's hot.
Yeah.
Okay.
That might give you a clue as to what it might be.
Not a clue. Thomas the Tank
And
Engine?
it needs to be plugged in. And you can open your eyes.
Oh, wow. It's a lava lamp.
It's my greatest little light toy, my lava lamp, yeah.
Oh, I love lava lamps, but I'm going to shoot you down.
Have you got one?
No. So last week, when my girls were on holiday, I had some time to myself. And the one day off that I had, so I had 3 days off, and I did some painting that needed doing. And then the third day, it was going to be, this is a day to myself. I can do anything I want. And then I looked and went, oh, balls, I've booked my car in to go for a diagnostic at Renault. Phoned up Renault, booked it all in. Oh, yeah, we'd like the car at 8 a.m. and you can have it back at 5 p.m.
Nice.
In Watford, which isn't near where I live. So it's like, well, there goes my day off. So I went wandering, and they've got a Menkind there. And I went and see if they've got the new Bogglers, because I'm that sort of cool. And they had that and plasma balls. And I was thinking, do I get one for Kay? She really wants a plasma ball or a lava lamp. I didn't in the end, because I just thought it's just going to end up with first degree burns and a trip to A&E eventually. So,
well, what's the time now? It's 9 o'clock.
Yep.
I turned this on at 7. No, in fact, no, I didn't. I turned it on at 6.
Wow.
And it's not long been doing that.
Really?
Yeah.
How old is it, though?
So, maybe when I was 15, 16, I got this.
Okay, so apparently the wax does degrade, which is why it takes longer.
Yeah. It was never quick.
No, they've never have been. You've got to buy a different bulb if you want it, basically. Because for those of you that don't know what a lava lamp is, which I find very hard to believe anyone would, basically a big glass bottle. You've got a very hot halogen bulb underneath, and the bottle's full of an alcohol water mix and wax. And as the wax warms up, it floats up in blobs, gets cold, and it drifts back down. And you get this really, really funky 60s-esque thing. And yeah, they're brilliant. I love them. Absolutely love a lava lamp. But I have thought about it this year.
I think you're going to have to win, because even though I haven't thought of the I think this is just better.
Yeah, I don't know. But then again, if we both, it would just mean neither of us get a point this week.
Yeah.
So by awesomeness, I'm going to go with the
you
point.
won by awesomeness.
I'm just going to go for that. But yeah, I'm not going to claim a point because neither of us remembered.
Then we are
so
still on 2-2.
it is a 0-0 score today.
Yeah, so.
But well, we'll make sure we get pictures of all of these up onto the webpage.
I'll leave it running so we get a picture of it actually looking nice with its bobbliness.
Oh, absolutely. Got to keep it going now. It really helps kind of feed into the aura of the podcast for us.
So, I want to talk to you about Picard again. So spoiler alert, everybody, if you haven't seen episode 8, what's the one you just watched?
I've just
9.
watched episode 9.
So the questions I have, though, you're already probably going to know the answers to.
I'm not going to ruin it for you, so don't panic.
So there's implications that of a greater evil in 8, which you said you thought was the Borg. I think it's the Borg. Miranda thinks it's the Borg.
So my thoughts to this, and I'm not going to ruin it for you by saying whether I was right or wrong, is why did Vedek at the end of episode 8 say to Seven, who was on the bridge,
that Seven
it's fitting that you're here?
Yep.
And then it's even further back. Why are they using the First Contact music?
See,
a film predominantly about Borg.
My wife just sent me a text message.
Yeah.
And First Contact is on the television right now.
Oh, what a film.
She's watching it right now.
It's such a good film. Easily the best of the TNG films in my books.
Is it Jack? Was that his name?
Jack's the son, yeah.
He
Jack
says
Crusher.
resistance is useless.
Yeah, resistance is useless. Now,
so not quite right, but...
So going back to my initial theory was, I think the Irromatic syndrome is wrong. It's a misdiagnosis, which we actually find out in episode 8 anyway, where Data says it was a misdiagnosis, but they don't know what it was.
Yep.
Now, I partly thought originally they were after Jack because he had a rogue changeling inside them. Yep. And that's what they were after. That's what's in his brain causing the problems.
Yep.
But then it kind of dawned on me, you hear Vedek say, it's fitting that you're here. You've got Jack say resistance is a blah, blah, blah. So I thought, well, what would happen if, because going back to TNG, after Picard is Locutus, at the very end of that episode when they've recovered him, he's looking through the window and, okay, I'm sure for the episode they were just having it as a traumatic PTSD moment where he's hearing the collective. Mm-hmm. Or are they using that even as a way of saying he's still connected somehow? Had they done something? And also, if you think, he gets that in First Contact as well, especially when the Borg are near.
Yeah.
So are the Borg near? Is he still connected? Are the nanites in him still active, basically? And basically, was Jack created with Borg spunk?
Yeah, Borg nano spunk.
Little sperms with little eyepieces and little additional bits strapped onto them.
They had the Borg Queen in season 2.
Well, this is what I don't fully understand. But then again, didn't the Borg Queen in season 2 come from a different time?
I think so. Yeah, different timeline.
So she's a different timeline. But also, they killed the Borg Queen in First Contact. So how is she there? But how was she in Voyager? And I think the idea was she exists, but there are more than one of her.
Or she is a computer program
that
is moving herself around.
The general consciousness. But it kind of leads me to think, is Jack a human Borg hybrid? And is that why, rather than with all the Borgs that can communicate to each other through their systems, is that why he can connect to humans? Is he some weird human Borg hybrid? And this is why he can get into the minds of people and see what they're seeing or help control them. And then it also kind of made me then think that would help explain all of these new changelings. Have the Borg conquered the changeling planet, the Great Ooze, assimilated them, and these new changelings that want to stay solid, is that the nanites helping them, and that's why they can recreate all the organs perfectly, and there's no sign of it because the nanites are creating it. And that's why it recreates so quickly. So that's my theory. Whether or not it's right, I really, really can't tell you.
I just think they really have kept season 3 going.
Well, this is it. I think episode 7, I would say, has been the weakest episode. I just felt it didn't have enough going on in it. And I think the only thing that was exciting was Deanna connecting with Jack. I know that was the end of episode 8 even.
Yeah,
7 was the weakest one, and 8 was better. But as a season goes, with only one more episode, I think it's only 10 episodes like the other seasons, it's been a proper banger. I have been
and
really
I don't think they're
impressed.
doing a season 4.
No, it's done. This is the final
shame.
thing. And it's there's so many things I could tell you about episode 9 that would ruin it for you, but will give you such a chub. You will be you'll be walking around for days as if you've taken Viagra as
I think
Tic
we're going
Tacs.
to try and get Miranda to watch it tomorrow.
You have to.
Yeah.
You just have
So
to,
we can
because
talk
the other
about it.
problem is I can't even get onto Twitter, TikTok, not that I'm on TikTok too much now, Facebook, Instagram, without it being spoiled, because there are clips left, right and centre of 2 major bits that it's just like...
Yeah, I won't be able to go on our Facebook page because our Facebook page, Channel 84.
Yeah.
If you look on so when we logged in as us, no one else can see it, but it shows us a lot of Star Trek stuff, if you noticed.
I know.
So I won't be able to log into
No,
us.
you can't.
Yeah.
Honestly, you need to watch it tomorrow and just get past it, because I got episode 9 ruined for me, or the most exciting bit of it, which made me the happiest I could have been happy in it. And yeah, it really, really upset me. So watch it as soon as you can. And the same with you guys listening. If you haven't watched episode 9 yet, just get it on the feed and get watching it. Even if you go back and watch it again because you rush watch this one, go and watch it, because seriously, it's... As you joked about, I should have sat on a towel completely naked to enjoy it, because there were so many bits. I was like, oh yeah.
I have another question for you about teleportation, actually.
No, just before we go on to that, and just sticking with Picard one more bit for a moment. I would love to see a series about Captain Shaw, because you know what? He's such a dick, but I love him at the same time because he loves his crew, and it's just like, I'd really like to see like a little spin-off 10 episodes of Shaw's adventure, even if they were like only 15-minute YouTube episodes. I think it would be brilliant to see him kind of expanded out.
We might have said this to each other, not last podcast before, that I really liked him because he doesn't like Picard.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. It's that rare occasion where a predominantly popular character isn't liked, and you don't get that very often. Yeah. Oh, and you telling me about Vedak being Pumpkin or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
I didn't realise. I watched them, but I didn't get the relevance of the whole TikTok quote that she did. She was the one in the Hunger Games that works out the clock in is it the second or third Hunger Games, which she works out that there's a clock.
She's the techie.
She's the one that ends up going mad, going TikTok, TikTok.
Yeah.
I just didn't realise.
Yeah.
But the makeup they've done on her makes her look so different as well. It's just like, wow.
They've done a good job with it, yeah.
And she had different hair in that, obviously, which really changes.
Yeah.
When you realise how much hair can change. Anyway, right, transportation.
Yeah, so...
Or transporters, I'm guessing we're talking about here.
Made a little note here.
Mm.
So when you teleport, it pulls you apart at a molecular level.
Yeah.
And then transports those, or rather copies them somewhere else. So you're not physically taking those, you're copying them
and sticking them to another location and then deleting the old one.
Yeah. So are you the same person at the other end?
Yes, however, they've also answered this, and there's an episode of TNG where they come across a derelict Starfleet ship that's crashed. No, ignore me, it's not a ship that's crashed. They've gone out to an outpost that's stopped responding, and they only get I'm making it up as I go. I think it's a science station. That's what I'm going to say. It's a science station, and they can only visit it once every something like 10 years because of how the sun's reactivity is, or something along those lines. And they beamed down, and it was one of Riker's last missions before he came to the Enterprise. And it turns out there is Riker number 2 down there. So
let's stop here because you're ruining something for later.
Oh, really? Okay, because you get Thomas Riker.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
And William T. Riker.
No, you knew the names.
Oh, yes.
Okay, well, that's going to ruin one of my things later.
Well, at least I get a point on that question.
Yeah.
I'm not so much of a fraud as I feared I was.
No, that was one of the ones I thought you wouldn't be able to get. Okay, so... right. So as it's your birthday...
Well, hang on. Is that literally all the Star Trek questions?
That's it, yeah. No, actually, one thing, Tuvok was in it.
Yes.
I was so happy when Tuvok came on. That might have been
until it was bad Tuvok, and then it said out he was a dick.
But still, it was the actor.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm happy with that.
Well, as I said, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but episode 9 has a few more faces from things like TNG appear in it, which is very cool.
Yeah.
Especially in relation to what it's all about. But actually, one more point before we move on. If it is the Borg, and even if it wasn't the Borg, you know when they go after Daystrom and they're worried that they're going to get destroyed, so they steal the cloak and they stick it in the Titan rather than taking the bounty, as you said.
Yeah. Stupid idea. Should have taken the bounty.
No, stupid idea. Wouldn't you have taken Voyager, seeing it's probably still got all the armor upgrades they had from when they went against, which made it basically invulnerable to everything?
Yes.
Because if the Borg can't destroy it, the likelihood of Starfleet being able to destroy it is really unlikely.
Yeah.
So, you would have just jumped on Voyager and gone, yeah, off we go.
Again, why aren't all Starfleet ships equipped with that kind of armor?
Yeah, why don't they have that now, just in case the Borg come back?
Yeah. There are obviously plot holes.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It's retconning and everything like that.
So as it's your special birthday podcast, I wanted you to tell me about some of your favourite things, and I'll say some of mine as well.
Right, okay.
Your favourite birthday memory?
Favourite birthday memory? Now, I know you asked me these, so I did purely on purpose start thinking about these to make sure I didn't kind of be completely dry on ideas. Mm-hmm. And my favourite one has to be a birthday party when I was still at primary school. I would have been year 4 or 5, I think. I don't think it was any older than that. And bless my dad, he's such a wally. But I woke up, I was downstairs, I'd opened my presents with my mum. Dad had come down, and Mum was at home with me, and it must have been Easter. It was a late Easter, because it was a day off, and it wasn't a Saturday or a Sunday. It was a weekday. It must have been the Easter holidays. And I'd opened the presents. Dad came down, had his breakfast, and then he was going off to our shop to open it up and just get on with the day of work. And as he walked out the door, he said, "Enjoy your castle." And I just could see in my mum's face this, I am going to murder you.
Yeah.
As she'd organised a full-on bouncy castle, which I'd never, ever had for the back garden. I'd got my friends coming over. I knew they were coming over. And this is actually a bit of a bittersweet memory, actually, because I'll explain why. But yeah, this bouncy castle came up, and there was a front part, which was bouncy. Then there was a ball pit in the back parts. And it was just amazing. Absolutely amazing. But it was a bit upsetting as well. So I had a handful of friends came over, and one of those friends also collected mini boglins like I did. And we were running around the house, and my brother Roland had gone down to Ramish, superstar newsagent, and this is how Ramish is, or was even, because he's not the newsagent there now. He let him open up all the boglin bags to find a glow-in-the-dark one.
Oh, God.
And then I'm presuming Ramish resealed them. And he'd left the glow-in-the-dark one on my bookshelf in my bedroom. And then at the end of the evening, he said, "Oh, did you find what I left in your bedroom?" One of my mates had nicked it and said it was his.
No.
Oh, yeah, I bought it from home. It was a glow-in-the-dark boglin, which was so hard to get hold of, and they're so stupidly expensive now. I was so upset.
Oh, you didn't get it back?
No, because Roland hadn't got any evidence of it, and
Oh, what a
the
shame.
little git had said he'd bought it from home, so that was that, really.
What a shame.
A bittersweet memory, but yeah, that bouncy castle was just absolutely amazing. And I'd had it like to myself for a whole hour before people had come over as well, so it's
Yeah.
like I was properly into it. So
That's
happy with
wicked,
that.
yeah.
But go on, what was your favourite birthday memory then? Go on, fill me in.
I was kind of trying to think of not so much favourite ones, but very specific ones that reach out to me. There's
Right.
two. There's one I remember so vividly playing Pass the Parcel as a little kid on my parents' patio.
Nice.
And obviously my parents making me win.
Of course.
I remember that. And then a wicked birthday party in McDonald's in St Albans.
Oh, what a win.
Yeah, and going behind the counter and then you could pick one friend.
Of course.
And you go behind the counter and they give you a milkshake and show you how it works. Yeah, they really stand out to me, those two.
Now, the same boy that nicked the boglin,
Mm-hmm.
I remember one of his birthdays and it was amazing. We got, as a group, and there were like 5 or 6 of us, we went to see Mr. Nanny at the cinema.
Oh, yeah.
And then went to Burger King afterwards, and they had mini boglins in their kid meals.
Yeah.
And that was an amazing day as well. In fact, I can pinpoint the date now, because if I look up when Mr. Nanny was released, we'll get an idea of when that was. So I'll just pull up good old IMDb, which is a firm app that always lives on my phone, because I can't go through a film without looking up who was in that or who was there.
But it's one of the ones that my phone kind of just offers me when I swipe up. It's got like 5 apps that it thinks at that moment in time you might want to use. You know, the Google algorithm working out. It's always on there.
Oh, you know what? I wasn't too far wrong then. 1993. So yeah, I would have been year 4.
Yeah.
The next year would have been year 5. And yeah, that makes sense because I left there and went to Parmeter's in 95.
So you're like 9.
Yeah, there or thereabouts. So yeah. But yeah, Mr. Nanny and Mini Boglins, just happy days.
Favourite food?
Favourite food? Now, I can't even remember what I told you, and it changes so often. Steak mainly is my favourite food of all time. I could eat steak most days.
What kind of steak?
Well, that's a good question. Fillet steak, delicious. Love a bit of rump steak. Love steak pie. Love a steak bake from Greg. A steaky bake from Greg's.
Oh, they are good. Those
they
steak
are
bakes
damn good. They've probably got so little steak in them, but oh, the gravy.
Have you ever had one of those massive tomahawk steaks? Have you had
I
one of them?
really want one.
I've never had one
I
before.
want to buy one and stick it on the barbecue and do it on the barbecue outside.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know where they sell them. We might have to go into London.
Aldi.
Do they?
Aldi used to. I don't know if they still do, but apparently, I think it's over the Christmas period, they sell a tomahawk steak.
Okay, well, maybe we'll have to do that.
And you know, that's where we get our steaks from.
From Aldi.
We have steak every 3 weeks, as we've got a little meal rotation going around, so we don't get bored, and every week we kind of know what we're having there, especially with kids. It just makes life easier, especially as I do with the cooking.
We need to do
And Jem loves a fillet steak. I don't mind a rump steak. And yeah, it turns out Aldi prices, really good. You get a nice, about 8 or 9 ounce steak. And we've not had, in about a year and a half, we have not had one lemon of a steak They've always been really nice. It takes me about 20 minutes. So I'll get into the store and I'll flick through it like I'm going through a CD rack until I find one I like, and that goes in the basket. Then I go through the next one until I find one I like. Not that I'm doing it now, obviously, because I've lost weight, but I used to get Gem the fillet steak, and then they did for the same price the Big Daddy steak, which was a 16-ounce rump steak. But I tell you what, so full of flavour. I didn't have one that's been tough or full of fat. Really, really impressed.
Oh, nice.
But yes, steak is my favourite. So how about you?
Pizza.
But I picture a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
It's just simple pizza. I mean, it's not good for you. Massive carbs, full of fat. But I do
like a pizza.
It's a very short one for me. It's just pizza.
I've got to say, it's not a short one though. Dirty Domino's, Pizza Hut, Papa John's pizza, or proper, authentic, thin base Italian style pizza.
There's a place in town. I'm gonna forget its name. It's called like Fire something.
Right, I know which one you mean.
That's the best pizza. Fairly thin.
Yeah,
it's not greasy. And they put the Italian meats on it rather than just the only pepperoni. They actually
okay, so you've got salami, chorizo, stuff like that.
Yeah, and
nice.
They are gorgeous.
Oh, okay, I'll have to go and test that.
Pizza. I won't eat at Domino's anymore. Like, they're just
I
too
will,
greasy.
just because they're so dirty. And
greasy.
if I need that bad food day because I'm in a bad place, I don't care if it's full of grease. That's what I'm going to order.
Yeah.
But weirdly, Domino's potato wedges, they are so good
when they cook them.
Yeah, that does help.
A lot of the times they're not already cooked properly.
Oh, really? Well, that might just be
maybe that's a Hemel thing. Maybe
because ours come from Harpenden, darling.
No, there's a
Harpenden, darling. Oh, yes. I'm amazed they even have a bloody Domino's.
This next one's a tough one. Well, the next two probably, because the way you and I are, we could ramble about this for ages. Your favourite album?
Ducky. I'm not even going to take my time on that one because I've been thinking about that a lot recently. I've put the poster up in my office because I'm slowly turning my office into this 90s haven. And the more I think about it, Ducky is probably the album that I've listened most to, I've got fondest memories of, and it's, for me, I know shouldn't be, but for me, it's a rare album that I can listen to every track on that album and not skip one.
Yeah.
I find it really hard, even for a band I really like, let's say Metallica, for example, I find it really hard. Any of their albums pre-Reload or even Load, potentially, although I don't mind those albums, I find it very hard to find even any of their older albums where I wouldn't actually skip one or two songs. So, no, I'm going for Ducky Green Day because it's just a solid album.
I've got 4.
You've got 4.
I could not whittle it down. I've got 4, yeah.
And that's not a bad thing. I could probably find more if I really pushed myself. I mean, something like Ixnay on the Hombre by The Offspring. Mm-hmm. Or, actually, no, not even that one. I know I would go for, following Ducky, probably Americana by Offspring.
Yeah.
Really solid album again.
That's a good one. Well, I'll tell you the 4 I've got. Metal Up by a guy called Miracle of Sound.
Never heard of it.
So... I mentioned him in our 30-day music challenge, which we'll never be doing again, so no one ever hopes to ever hear something like that again.
But do go onto there and get the Spotify playlist because it's a really good playlist.
Yeah, it's eclectic is the word I'd use. So yeah, he normally does, he makes up songs, normally kind of metalish or Irish folky-ish.
Right.
To computer games, really.
Oh, cool.
But he made a proper metal rock album. And it was number 1 in the metal albums.
Oh,
on
awesome.
everything for a long time.
Okay.
And it is fantastic if you like metal. Genuinely, it's got Irish stuff in it because he's Irish, and it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I don't skip a track on it, and you know they're good. Like you were saying, if you don't skip a track, it's a good.
Well, that's it. And I if you're honest with yourself, and I'm talking to the listeners now, if you're honest to yourself, even about your favourite artists. Be honest, is there many albums that you don't skip a track on?
No. And I'll say that because I'm breaking one of the fan rules, like some people might say, is I've got a greatest hits album here.
Ooh.
Foo Fighters' greatest hits.
Solid album.
I will not skip a track on that. But other Foo Fighters albums, I will skip tracks on.
Greatest hits.
So I couldn't pick that. So I couldn't pick one in particular, but I don't skip on the greatest hits for the point of the fact it's the greatest hits.
Yeah, but your question was album, and no, I accept that. I accept that.
Permission to Land, The Darkness. I absolutely love them.
I remember when that came out. It was a weird time of music, that one.
Yeah.
And seeing him come out and then realising that the songs are all basically about sex, STDs, and various other things.
Yeah. Just absolutely. Yeah. And it was Telf that told me about though. I wrote that on the 30 Day Song Challenge.
I can't believe you didn't
Growing
know
on
that.
Me, it just never crossed my mind that that's what it's about. And he was like, dude, you do realise what this is about? Oh my God, it all makes sense.
And Permission to Land.
And that's the first time I thought about that too. I think you're all going to have to really educate me.
I'm pretty sure the album is basically every sex bit you could imagine is part of one of those songs.
Yeah, but it's brilliant, isn't it?
It is a really good album.
And the last one, The Better Life, 3 Doors Down.
So I've never listened to 3 Doors Down.
Yeah, this is a really good American-y kind of...
Nothing wrong with America.
No, but you know...
Don't alienate an entire country
No. You
from
know what
the
I mean
podcast.
when I'm saying if you...
I know what you mean. It's very...
American Pie kind of music is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
It's that kind of music. Yeah.
Yeah, because kind of mid-90s, early 2000s, pop, rock, punk sort of stuff.
Not Sum 41 levels.
No.
But that kind of time. And it is really good though. You should listen to it.
Yeah, okay. Although, actually, I'll tell you, there is one more album that comes to mind again. It's funny, actually, how it's kind of punk and pop punk that are kind of coming to mind over here. There is an album called Are We Not Men, We Are Diva by Me First and the Gimme Gimmes. And
I've heard of Me First and the Gimme Gimmes, but I don't
they're
know
an
that.
amazing punk band. Their early stuff's good, their new stuff's good. And on this album, they basically cover a load of songs. I'll just go through this playlist now. There's only maybe one or two I skip on it, but I love this album. They cover I Will Survive, Straight Up, Believe by Cher, which is an amazing cover, and I actually prefer it to the Cher version. Beautiful, My Heart Will Go On, I Will Always Love You, Top of the World, Speechless, Karma Chameleon, Crazy for You, On the Radio, and The Way We Were. It's a really good album.
That's they're on your list. The Cher one is the cover one that you put on the list, isn't it? Yeah.
It's such a good cover.
So I will have listened to it, but I'm not remembering it because I've listened to the playlist.
Yes.
Yeah. Send me mental by the end of it. Okay.
You can't ask this next one. You know how impossible this is.
Twins! No, I'm joking.
No.
It's not my favourite film.
I can't answer this. I genuinely cannot answer this. I would end up having to go to my film list and saying, you need to look at every film at that front part of that list, the top spot, and that is my favourite.
I want us to go through that list and whittle it down together in agreement to 5 and then rank those 5 as the 5 best. So when we finish, so the next time we do it, we'll do if we can do it might be 2 episodes because we're not.
Yeah, I reckon the next episode will be just finishing the list, and then the third episode will be the whistle down, and we'll actually properly talk about it.
Yes.
No, I agree with that, but I still stand by. I cannot tell you my favourite film.
Well, guess mine.
Twins.
No.
Give me a rough year.
I don't remember the year now, but it's got Sylvester Stallone in it.
Oh, yeah, well, Demolition Man.
Yeah,
it's a bit of a stupid question. I should have guessed that one, shouldn't I?
Favorite childhood memory. This is a tough one, really.
That
but
is
just
a
memory from your childhood. Doesn't have to be about anything in particular. That just makes you feel warm inside.
Oh, there's so many, but yeah, I'm just gonna go. You want one that makes me warm inside, and oh god, there are so many. Okay, I am gonna go for one with my grandparents because I never knew my dad's parents. They were dead before I was born, but I did get to know my mum's parents, and actually I only lost my nan September last year, maybe it was around then or thereabout, and that was obviously highly upsetting, but I have got incredibly fond memories of my time with them, because when I was really small, rather than being suffering and having to go to the shop all day on a Saturday, Mum and Dad used to get up really early. Mum and Dad would run us up to my nan and grandpa's, and we'd stay with my nan and grandpa for the day, and then they'd bring us back in the afternoon. So we didn't get stuck at the shop, get bored. And they're very fond memories of going there and getting there so early that we used to watch Saturday morning cartoons like the Raccoons there. And they'd always buy us lovely kind of just little pocket money things because they didn't have much money and things like Fun Snaps, but at the age I was, they were like the most amazing things, or paper caps and a paper cap gun, just all really, really amazing things. But I remember one Christmas, they obviously used to shop at Littlewoods quite a lot, and I don't know if they used to do that because they could do kind of layaway prices back then. But I remember they bought me a Sanyo Walkman. Paying for a portable cassette player, if using the term Walkman annoys you because it's not Sony, therefore it can't be a Walkman. But they bought me a Sanyo portable cassette player, and it had those, it had those classic earphones with orange foam with the metal band that went over your head. And bless their heart, because I unwrapped it, I was so excited by it, and then realizing they didn't have any cassettes there. So, or what they did wasn't going to be anything I vaguely remember. I think the cassette they found a Christmas cassette that had things like Dean Martin and Bing Crosby just singing Christmas classics in the end. But that Sanyo Walkman went everywhere with me. Whenever we were in the car, I had it on. I think I had a Show Waddy Waddy tape in it, which, funny enough, me and you talked about Show Waddy Waddy on the car back at one point. And I played it so much it stretched the tape. So things like Blue Moon, rather than being kind of bomb 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 Blue Moon, it was more like bomb 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 Blue Moon. It ruined, but I still loved it, and it couldn't have been a cheap one. I'm trying to think. I would have only been about 6 or 7. So this is 1990, 1991. I'll look up in the Littlewoods catalogue if I can. It had auto reverse. I remember it had play, it had rewind and fast forward, it had a stop button, and then in the top right corner, if you were looking at it, it had this little flicky switch, really, really light little plastic switch. And when the cassette got to the end, it used to just ping over to the other side, and then it would auto reverse and play the other side.
Yeah, they were cool, weren't they?
Yeah, and it's just like, this is absolutely amazing.
That was technology, people.
Yeah, and it was, because a lot of the Walkmans didn't have it at the time. So it really blew my mind.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm really, it makes me a bit emotional thinking about my grandparents like that, because it was one of the kind of those Christmas presents that I'll never forget. But I mean, the sort of grandparents as well that Mum said, I was having a hard time at secondary school. I was thinking it was year 7 or year 8. And a couple of days later in the post, I got a parcel, and they'd bought me a digital watch. It was this little grey digital watch. I think it was something like Oregon Scientific. As a brand, I don't even know if they still exist. They used to sell lots of random stuff.
Yeah.
And it was an FM radio. You used to plug your headphones in, and it would be an FM radio watch, and you used to tune it with this little yellow dial on your wrist, and then you could listen to the radio off. It was amazing.
Did it have an aerial to pull out?
Well, no, that was the headphones. The headphones were the aerial, which is what, funny enough, mobile phones stole that idea for ages. Those early mobile phones that came with the FM radio had to have the earphones in to act as the aerial. Otherwise, it said you can't use this app. And yeah, it's just little things like that. Just really, really, that they are my childhood memories. I love my parents. Don't get me wrong. I love at least one of my brothers. We won't even go there. But I think sometimes some of my fondest memories, like they took us on holiday. So Dad never came on holiday with us. So Mum would always take us boys on holiday, and we'd go with Nan and Granddad, and we'd go in their car, and we'd go to Hunstanton every year. And it was always the Easter holidays we went. And the picture you'll see, that is the episode picture, if you see the different images, but you'll see it on Twitter anyway. That is me on what used to be, we called it the 20p bikes. And they were these 3-wheeled Honda electric bikes at Hunstanton Arcade, and you put 20p in, you could just drive it around this little arena, and they were amazing. But that's all tied in with my grandparent memories. Yeah. So yeah, I think those are my most fondest memories.
And mine are the same, really. Both my grandmothers, really. My mum's dad, I never met him, died before I was born, and my dad's dad died when I was very small, so I don't remember him at all. But my mum's mum, they're all from Manchester, so she only died fairly recently. At the end of her road, I'll tell everyone where she lived. She lived on a place called White Butts Road, which is... was it White Butts Road, or I completely got that name wrong? It's in Urmston, anyway.
It's not a local road. That's what people need to know. It's not somewhere that we are right now.
No. I've just actually got her completely wrong with a friend of mine who lives on somewhere who's got a similar name road. Anyway, it's in Urmston. And at the end of the road was a shop that was just like an open all hours.
Right.
And they had all the sweets in jars behind the till.
Yeah.
Millions. I remember going and getting the brown bag of Millions whenever it would give you like a 20p, and that was enough to get that.
I was always the Tom Thumb pips.
And it's really going to bug me now that I can't remember the road she lived on. Blimey. And then my dad's mum, she used to look after us all the time, And I remember sitting on the floor while she was smoking a fag in the living room.
Nice.
And really old television watching The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
And on top of her television, she had this little cat ornament. It's like a black cat thing. And I remember when she passed away, my parents were like, take whatever you want. And all I wanted was that cat.
Yeah.
And specifically, I wanted it because it smelled of cigarette smoke.
Yes.
And that smoke reminded me of and I still have that cat. It's in my living room on my mantelpiece. Unfortunately, it doesn't smell the same anymore.
That's because you don't go and buy a packet of 20 B&H Gold and smoke next to it on purpose.
I don't smoke in front of my grandkids. But yeah, they're mine, definitely.
No, that's amazing, mate. That's amazing. Now, just really quickly, and if this upsets you, I'm very up. Not you, Rob, but someone listening to it. If isn't meant to upset you, but it does explain kind of a different time. Now, my grandpa worked in the radar corps for the British Army, and he was based out in India.
Yep.
And they were on a flight base, and they nearly got the British Army during the war kicked out of India.
How?
Well, they were running the airfield, and a very, very large cow, he told us it was a cow, but I'm guessing yak or whatever it was, died on the runway.
Nice.
And none of the local government would deal with it because religious animal. It's chosen to die there. Therefore, that's where it stays. Well, there were several aircraft due to be coming in, and they took it into their own hands. They put 2 or 3 Spitfire starter cartridges inside the carcass, and a Spitfire starter cartridge, if you don't know, looks like a shotgun shell, but maximised, so it's much bigger.
Yep.
And they blew it halfway across the runway into little bits. And apparently it very nearly caused a very, very big national accident with India.
Oh, dear.
But the planes got to land. So yeah, apologies if that upset you. I understand religious animals. At the same time, it was also World War II, and we were fighting something that was potentially going to aim to take out the whole world.
Bit more important than worrying about cows. Blinko Road. That's what she lived on.
Ah, well done.
So everyone look it up. Blinko Road, Urmston. Look at the end of the road. There was a post office. That used to be something completely different. Yeah.
Nice.
There's a post box there. That was okay. Favourite kids' TV show?
Now, that is a really hard one because it's like we were saying in the film episode, and even when we've talked about music, it's so dependent on your mood at the time of asking that question.
That's what I was going to say. The same thing, but I'm going to have to change it a little bit because I couldn't think of a specific kids one that I really liked. Just a program you really liked when you were young. It doesn't have to be aimed at
There's
kids.
several. Raccoons, I loved growing up, and I've bought the series on DVD since because it's just such a nice show. The animation, the story to it, it was exciting. It was an adventure. You wanted to be Bert Raccoon.
Yeah.
And so I absolutely loved the Raccoons growing up. But if I go younger, Bertha, I used to love Bertha as a show, this green robot machine that could make anything and often went wrong. Just such a genius idea and just so simple. And then you realise how it wouldn't get away today, seeing you've got a white man playing the, I think he's an Indian cleaner and mechanic person putting on a very, very bad accent, worse than the bloke that did in Johnny Five, for example, in Short Circuit. So
wasn't that guy in?
they banned him until recently from the country for it. They were very.
Wasn't he? Is he white though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry about us. Yeah, he yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, I think at the time of watching that film, I didn't know that.
I didn't until fairly recently. I'm really ashamed to
maybe
admit
we
that.
both saw the same article on Reddit or something.
More than
It
likely.
wasn't that long ago that I was like, that dude wasn't Indian.
Yeah.
I did the collar thing. Yeah, ooh.
You're doing the whole Principal Skinner thing.
Yeah.
But yeah. What other one? I mean, I used to love Maid Marian.
Yeah, maybe it was good.
Couldn't beat
It
Maid
was
Marian.
good.
But then if you want to
Again,
go...
I've not thought about that in a long time.
Oh, damn it, I'm ruining all these brilliant ideas.
Yeah.
But then let's jump over to like CITV for a moment. You couldn't beat Finders Keepers or Funhouse. Now, Funhouse was the one I wanted. Yeah, Finders Keepers had the twins. I wasn't old enough to enjoy that.
Funhouse had the twins.
Was it Funhouse? No, it wasn't. It was
No, I
Funhouse.
wrote about it recently.
Yes, you're right. Sorry, it was Finders. Yeah, sorry. I wasn't old enough to enjoy the twins from Funhouse, although everyone, yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Finders Keepers was the show I wanted to go on. And I can't imagine, who wouldn't? You get this giant house and you're just told, go in that room and destroy it. Go to mum and dad's bedroom, destroy it.
Is it when you were trying to find like the big object hidden in there?
Yeah. They had a quiz at the beginning and then one group of kids would get to go in through the house at the end and they'd be given riddles. So
It's basically supermarket sweep, but wrecking at someone's house.
So you had to then run all through the rooms, and there was something like 4 or 5 rooms in the entire house they had to do, and they were jam-packed with everything. So it was quite hard. If you go back and watch it now, it was really quite hard actually to find some of the things sometimes. But some of the kids were just so thick that they never even got... They never got the riddles. It's like they didn't know what they were looking for most of the time. But Finders Keepers, what a show. And then I guess kind of Get Your Own Back.
Oh, yeah.
How many people didn't want to go and Get Your Own Back and get their teacher gunged or their parent gunged?
Wow, I was remembering these shows. What was the one that had Anton Decom? No, so not the show that the kind of...
What, not the Saturday morning one?
The one where they were themselves and Kat Deedy was on it.
Yeah, SMTV.
SMTV.
So that was I think that was their Saturday morning one.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was SMTV, and then I can't remember what it became with Holly Willoughby, who again, if you look on YouTube, you can see the scene still where she's jumping around with them and her tit pops out in front of all the kids.
Dude, when you look back at them, you wonder how they got away with it.
Oh God, yeah, she sat there legs apart in a mini skirt.
They
constantly saying sexual jokes
rude
to her, and she just realizes and just creases up.
Go and watch some Wonky Donkey.
Wonky Donkey.
They're so good when he's just like Decker's just yelling at these kids because they can't get these stupid little rhymes right, and some of the kids and they're just like, it's meant to rhyme. It's like, come on, dude.
I should have been too old for this at this point. I still watched it. Dick and Dom in the Bungalow.
Dick and Dom in the Bungalow is, they go and do live shows now.
I know.
And adults are going. I would go watch that.
Dick and Dom in the Bungalow was such a solid piece of
They are
and
genius.
It's funny because there's this brilliant, when Adam and Joe did the XFM show and they did their podcast, they bring it up in their episode. He says, Adam, so what film are all the kids really into nowadays? Oh, I don't know, Joe. Why don't you tell me? Well, it's The Deer Hunter, isn't it? And there's this, I remember the episode where they basically set up this really elaborate bit where it looks like The Deer Hunter and the kids have to eat really disgusting sweets, and one of them's disgusting, as in the Russian roulette bit from The Deer Hunter. It's like, what? The kids aren't going to get this.
I think a lot of it wasn't for the kids.
Oh God, no! You know
really
what? I
don't
think
think
Dick and Dom in the Bungalow wins now.
Yeah, Dick and Dom in the Bungalow was
PC Harry Bat.
just.
There's showing my
again,
knowledge
I
there.
could watch it right now. I watch bits of it on YouTube.
Yeah, I might have to actually. I might have to go home and
it's
watch
all
some.
on there. You can get loads of stuff to find.
Genius.
Right.
I'm going to bring out another sweet treat.
Yeah, let's do that while I get myself prepared.
So, you know how gold biscuits were like primetime brilliant biscuits?
Yep.
Well, how about Munchies Gold?
Oh.
So
I
they're
don't know if I've had
Munchies.
Munchies Gold.
They're
before.
Munchies made with Caramac.
Oh.
Rattle,
Okay.
rattle, rattle, ruin the sound. Which,
Interesting.
let's
I'm
face
not
it, is probably already
amazingly
ruined
fond of
somewhere.
Caramax, so
Well, Caramac's just the same as gold.
yeah, I just don't know. There's something about having the Caramac on its own.
Oh,
he's having another crisis, everyone.
I've ruined my pants.
You don't have any underwear left. Oh yeah, fucking. It's just so I swore.
Oh, hello.
Sorry, Kay, if you're listening to this. I was trying not to swear.
She's not. I've already told her she's not allowed to actually tell her friends that she did. She can tell her friends that she did the podcast with us. She can't give them the link to it in
Not the
case
film one. The film one. The amount of swears in the film.
if she ends up, they end up listening. Oh my god, that's delicious.
These are I'm having a moment.
That
They're incredible. They are absolutely incredible.
So that's Munchie's Gold, by the way, ladies and gents. And oh
I hope you forget to take these home.
no, I'll be nice. I'm going to leave those with you because I have
Gordon
got
Bennett.
21 more gold bars to eat. So you can't buy a small pack of those anymore. It's a pack of 24 or nothing. So it was a pack of 24.
Right, are you ready, Tom?
I want another one.
The second fun thing of your birthday podcast. We're going to
Go
play
on
a
then.
game, and that game is called Who Wants to Be a Star Trek Captain?
Ooh.
I hope this comes through on the microphone.
Just bring me a little bit closer. There we go. I can hear it now. Anyone looking through the window seeing us dancing away. And copyright strike.
Yeah, we're not worried about any of that. Come at us. Right. So the rules of the game, there are 3 rounds. At the end of each round, you win a prize.
Right, okay.
It's possible to not win the prize.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay. You don't know what the prizes are because they are wrapped up.
Oh.
So, just like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, you will have lifelines. I'll let you do a 50-50. I'll let you phone a friend.
Who the
And
hell
I'll
am I
let
going to
you, you're going to be calling a friend. Me. And ask the audience. Well, I'm the audience too. So I'll be putting voices on, which I have not thought about.
Oh, no.
If you miss prizes at the end, if you can do your maths, there will be a 10th question where you can risk it all to gain the
risk it
prize
for the biscuit.
that you may or may not have missed. I can guarantee you're going to get every question right. You already know the answer to one of the questions. I
Was
put
that
a
question
lot of
number
effort
10?
into this quiz. So let's get going.
Go on then. I'm
Right.
ready.
This is a bit janky because I have a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire soundboard on my phone here.
Oh, no.
So let's
Yes.
play.
I love the effort you put in.
This is so
This
good.
is beautiful.
Right,
Absolutely
question
beautiful.
number 1. They don't have the tense music on here, so we're just going to have to pretend. it's
Okay.
there. In the Star Trek timeline, when was the Federation founded? Now, remember that before you all probably already know the answer. Let me actually give you the answers. So, A, is it 2161? Is it B, 2262? Is it C, 2363? Or is it D, 8008? And if you know calculators, that spells boop.
Boop. I have no clue. I have no clue on that at all. B.
You're going to get the first question wrong.
Probably, yes.
How are we going to do this then? Because I didn't think you're going to get any wrong. I'm going to make you use a lifeline.
This is where I was joking about the fact that you're going to make me a fraud. I love Star Trek, but I'm pretty useless at general
I've got
knowledge
some
on
very
Star
easy
Trek, so-
ones in here, and there are some hard questions.
Okay. Did you forget that Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is meant to ramp up in difficulty?
No, I don't care about any of that.
Okay, fine.
It's just I needed
Okay.
something that has multiple choice answers.
I'd like some voices, please, Rob. I'd like the audience.
You like to? Well, I don't have to do the thingies for the audience, do I? Hello, everyone in the audience. Could you please answer the question of, in the Star Trek timeline, when was the Federation founded? Okay, I'm going to answer the question. Is it A, 2161? Is it B, 2262, C, 2363, or D, boob? The answers come back. 100% of the audience say it might be A. TJ, what would you like to choose?
I might go B, but I need to think about it. I'll go A, please, Rob.
A. Oh, that's interesting. He's chosen A. He's trying to find the right one on the soundboard. Hooray! Well done, TJ.
Yay!
It was 2161. You move on to the next question.
Nice.
Question 2. Which of these are not a founding member of the Federation? So, is it A, the Vulcans, B, the Andorians, C, the Bajorans, or D, the Telars?
Good God.
Okay, I'll change D for humans because I never even heard of the Telar race.
The Telars are the one. I thought they were the ones that had the big heads and could read people's brains, but I could be wrong on that one because that's Talos I'm thinking about. I'm going to go for the Andorans just purely because I was thinking about Archer, but if you go by Enterprise, the Andorans are hated, so that would make sense. But what were the other options?
So A, Vulcans, B, Andorians, C, Bajorans, D, Telars.
I shouldn't ask for hints here, but have you watched Enterprise?
Not really.
Oh, crap. Well, that's not going to help me, is it? And by any chance, are all the answers to this quiz A?
No, they're actually not. I moved them around.
Okay.
Well, obviously the Vulcans are.
But you say that because in Enterprise, Starfleet hate the Vulcans because they're making them slow down and not do warp and not go to and speak to other planets and things, saying that they're not ready. So, well, we know humans did it. And what was option C?
The
Bajorans. Well, they only turned up in Deep Space Nine, so let's face it, that's probably the answer. So we'll go for C.
Hooray!
Yay! I'm not cheating at all.
C.
I'm surprised by that. But how can the Andorans be founders of the Federation, seeing they're so hated in Enterprise?
Andorians, yeah, I don't know. It's just what it told me on some Star Trek website.
Oh, fair enough.
The Star Trek fandom website told me about it.
Well, they're fairly trustworthy because they're updated.
Okay, well, this one I'm expecting you to get wrong now because this was the hardest question I thought in the whole thing.
Pardon me?
And I have a guest who's going to be asking this question.
Here is the first question. Which captain has an artificial heart? A, Catherine Janeway.
This is easy.
B, Benjamin Sisko. C, Jean-Luc Picard. Or D, James T. Kirk.
And the answer there, Rob, is C. And well done, Kay. That was beautifully read. And I'm so going to be having words with you when we see you tomorrow.
It's not over yet.
Well done. That is correct. You have won your awesome prize.
You have won your awesome prize. And here it is, folks.
I'm so going to have words with her for keeping
Prize
secrets.
number 1 for TJ. He may open it. I've taken photos of the wrapping paper so people can know what it is.
So I'm currently looking at Disney princesses. What beautiful paper. None of them are okay.
Have you got a favourite Disney princess?
I'll go for Rapunzel, but she kicks everyone's asses.
Okay, yeah.
It's a good film as well, to be fair.
You tell everyone what it is.
I have got Archer,
Yeah.
leader of the Gorgonites.
Yeah.
That really pushed my brain for a moment. From Small Soldiers.
Yeah.
That is very, very cool.
Isn't it cool?
He's poseable.
Yeah, he's a really cool toy. Unfortunately, I couldn't get one that actually still has his crossbow and
I don't care
and
about
stuff.
that.
But
That's
I didn't
very
think you'd
cool.
be that worried
That
about
is going on the shelf with the real Ghostbuster toys.
the shelf
I like
of
that.
wonders. So well
That's
done.
very cool, dude. Thank you.
Right. So here we are now on round 2.
Now I know why Jem's been asking me for the past week. So you know nothing about the birthday special episode. I was wondering why she cared so much.
Yeah. Well, she didn't know about any of these.
Oh, no. I'm still going to kick her ass for knowing.
Round 2. Right. Okay. So this is... I obviously can't count on my little phone. I know, here we are. Question 4.
Okay.
This is easy. Who is the head of security on Deep Space Nine?
Odo.
Okay. A, is it Worf? B, Benjamin Sisko? C, Odo? Or D, Miles O'Brien?
Well, I think it's Odo.
Are you sure? Do you want to lock that answer in?
I'd like to lock it. And he's found the sound for it.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, no, really
Easy.
solid character as well. Really good character for
You
that
know,
entire
he
series.
was one of the ones I didn't like.
Really?
You know, I think what it is I didn't like the makeup. I think that is genuinely all it is. I didn't like the nose that they put on him. I think
but
that's
when
what it
you
is.
understand, it's because he never works out how to
Or is
do
that
it.
why?
That's it. Yeah, he's the things he found hard was the ears and the nose.
Mm.
So that's why he
Okay.
always looks strange.
Right, so question 5. What is the name given... This, you're going to get this one straight away. What is the name given to the Klingon warbird in the Star Trek motion picture Star Trek 6, The Voyage Home?
Oh, that's the HMS Bounty.
We know that. Yeah, so that was... A, Kronos 1. B, the USS Argo.
So Kronos 1 was Undiscovered Country.
I love
That's
that you're
the
going to know all of these.
That was the final ship that had Christopher Plummer playing the main Klingon that dies and is trying to get peace among our kind.
Mm-hmm. B, the USS Argo.
Why do I...
Now, I picked ships that were round the museum from the Picard episode. Someone's actually mapped
Interesting.
it and
Oh,
named
yeah.
them all.
The Argo, I don't know what that came from. No, I don't know that
It
one.
didn't say on there, so I didn't know either. And then C, the HMS Bounty.
Yeah.
Or is it D, the USS Pew Pew Ship Go Bang Bang?
Oh, I wish I'd gone for that answer.
So, is that your final answer?
That is my final answer, sir.
Let's see now. He's chosen C, the HMS Bounty.
I
as
love
his
how you're
final
dragging
answer.
this out as well. This is beautifully done.
Hooray!
So much for us saying we could have a shorter episode one day.
No, we're not even near the end of this. We've still got to talk about other stuff. I just want to go back actually to question 3 that Kay beautifully read for us. I actually made notes on the last question of each one. So it was in 2327, Jean-Luc Picard received his artificial heart after he was stabbed
Yep.
by a Nausicaan during a bar
yep.
brawl.
Bar fight.
Sorry for any Nausicans listening. I can't pronounce your race. And again, the next question is going to be incredibly easy for you because you've actually already said the answer.
Thomas.
But our special guest is back
Oh, bless her heart.
for the next question. If
Oh,
I
I
can
love her
find
so
it.
much, bless her.
Here we are.
This is question 2. What is the name of Will Riker's transporter twin? A, Tom. B, Rob. C, Bill. Or D, Ben?
Nice.
What is it, Tom?
Well, it's technically Thomas, but we'll go with Tom.
Yeah, there we go. Of course it is. Before I give you a prize, obviously I've written down a little snippet of that. So for people who don't know, Thomas Riker was a result of a transporter accident in the year 2361 that created 2 William Thomas Rikers, genetically indistinguishable from each other, with personalities and memories identical up to the point that they were duplicated. One duplicate continues to be known as Will Riker. Can you tell me where the other one went?
The other one went to continue his career, but I can't tell you what ship he went off to. It wasn't the Intrepid. Not a clue.
It says he went to join the Marquis Resistance, is what it says on my little bit here.
Unless that happened at another point.
But I'd never heard of the Marquis until Voyager, so
Well, no, the Marquis turned up in Deep Space Nine first.
did it?
And then, carried on into Voyager. But no, I've not heard that. It may have cropped up in an episode, or there's very possibly it turned up in one of the books, for example.
So here we have with his second prize.
He sent me another parcel.
Mm-hmm.
It feels very clothing-like.
Yeah, it could be clothes.
Ooh, he's bought me pants.
Yeah, that's what you needed. I should have got you some pants.
Big boy pants. Okay, I'm unwrapping it. It's a grey t-shirt. I managed to unwrap it backwards. So I'm looking at it very...
He's looking at a great back.
Oh, hello.
Isn't that cool?
Starfleet says Academy, established 2161, in case I forget in the future.
Yep.
That is very,
It's like
very
for the people who can't see it
cool.
right now, it's like a university T-shirt that you'd get.
I love that.
Yeah, I
that
thought that
is
was pretty
that is
cool.
going into the weekly rotation of clothing. I don't care how geeky that is. I love it. Thank you, dude.
You're very
that's
welcome.
brilliant.
Are you ready for the next round?
I am ready.
Here we are with question 7. What is the ultimate goal of the Borg? Is it A, to wipe out all races? Is it B, to achieve perfection? Is it C, to have sex with Data? Or is it D, to boldly go where no toaster has gone before?
Let's face it, sex with Data sounds pretty damn awesome. They're seeking perfection, I think. I'm gonna phone a friend.
Oh, you're going to phone a friend. Okay, hang on.
Yeah,
I haven't got a ringtone. I didn't prepare a ringtone. Hello?
You're not a friend. You're the predator down the street from me.
Hello, it's your Aunt Julie here. Hello, is that Thomas?
Hello, Judy. Julie. Even though I do actually have an aunt called Judy.
Can I help you, darling?
Hey, it's Julie. Can you tell me?
How are those warts doing? Did you get the cream I sent you, Thomas? You doing okay? How's your mother?
I've given up just hang up the phone. I'll do
Hello, speak up, Thomas. I can't quite hear you, Thomas.
I'll do 50-50 instead, please. Just hang up on it. Hang up.
Goodbye, Thomas.
Oh.
Well, we would have run out of
sorry
time
about
anyway.
that. Sorry about that, Aunt Julia. Okay, so what are we doing? 50-50?
50-50.
Okay, so
If you leave me with answers A and B, I'm going to slap you.
I'll be leaving you with, is it B, to achieve perfection, or is it C, to have sex with Data?
See, I told you, Data's the winner every time. B.
B, are you sure?
I am certain.
Of course. It is to achieve perfection. Of course it is. And they do it so wonderfully. They made 7 of 9. Right, question
Booyah.
8. This is a tough one, I think. What does Q call humans in the first episode he ever appears in? Is it A, a dangerously savage child race? Is it B, self-destructive ants? C, idiotic apes? Or D, irrelevant pond scum?
A.
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 Mm-hmm. Are you sure?
Oh, I'm absolutely certain because it's actually a brilliant, brilliant character. John DeLacy as Q is just phenomenal. Although
Of course it is.
they could have done so much more with him in season 2 of Picard.
Yeah, I think they killed him, didn't they?
Which,
That's essentially what they've done. Or they took his
They're
immortality away.
It's just, yeah, it could have been done. He's just such a, even in Voyager,
Okay.
Mon
Right.
Capitan.
Here we are. This is what I personally think is one of the easiest questions in the entire thing. But here we go.
Space?
This is question 3.
Oh,
How
bless
many
her.
lights are there? A, 3, B, 4, C, 5, or D, 6?
How many lights are there, Tom?
Are we going by what the Romulan wants
How
him
many
to
lights
say?
are there, Tom? Do the voice.
There are 4 lights.
There are 4 lights.
It's a great
Is that your
episode now.
final answer, Tom?
Yes, that's my final answer. There are 4 lights. Mr. Worf.
Well done. That is correct.
There are
You have
4
won
lights.
your awesome prize.
Yeah, we
Booyah.
Well done. Of course, there are 4 lights.
Again,
And here you
really,
have
really solid
Your
episode.
final
That
prize.
one. Ooh,
Don't
it
do
rattles.
that.
Oh, okay, don't rattle. Oh, is it because that might be floppy disks in it?
There could be something. No, it's not a floppy disk in there.
Oh, look at that. Okay, so back in the day, boys and girls that are far too young to be enjoying really what me and Rob are talking about, games came in cardboard boxes. Well, actually, I remember when they came in cassette cases, but let's not go that far. PC games came in a big box, and so did Atari games and Amiga games. And This is Star Trek The Next Generation, A Final Unity.
A bloody brilliant game, I'd like
Made
to
by
say.
a company called Microprose, which is just, they had some wonderful, wonderful games. And this brings back memories. And funny enough, there's a channel called Nostalgia Nerd, and he played it on Twitch live.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, and he saw however many episodes to get through it. I love it. Because there's so many times you can make everyone angry with Worf by constantly saying, kill everything or blow something up. And it's just, no, Mr. Worf, we don't need to do that.
I thought you probably had it on GOG already.
No, I don't.
But I just
any
wanted
of
you to
these.
have the physical copy. I look inside. It is
it's the
in
CD-ROM version.
condition.
Which means, look at the size of the So
it's got everything.
When manuals actually came, and it's colour.
And I haven't got his name to hand, but the guy got it from an eBay. I should shout him out. I should say his name. He was so lovely. He messaged me multiple times saying, look, if you or your friend have any trouble getting it to work, let me know. I'll walk you through getting it to work, because sometimes they can be a bit funny.
Well, what he didn't know and you didn't know, I have 3 laptops at home. I have my gaming work laptop, which is for modern stuff. I have a Sony Vaio from the year 2000, which is what I had, exactly the same model. I put in a alert on eBay for exactly when that model came up, that I used to use for college, that used to be able to play Max Payne and Worms 2. And then I managed to buy it for £5 on Facebook Marketplace from Redbourne, weirdly, before I lived there. For £5, a Toshiba notebook that ran a Pentium 2 and is perfect for old DOS and Windows games.
Well, there you go.
And
I did say to him, I don't think that you will need help with it. But it was nice.
I've got the perfect machine to run it on. It's got the free post thing to register.
It's got everything. It's like the guy never opened it himself.
But what I'm blown away by as well is there's this giant poster. We'll get a picture up of it. Micropost, the best of both worlds, and it's just a big poster of their most recent releases, basically, or their most popular ones. You've got things like...
They don't do that anymore, do they? They don't put those things in.
Well, you don't really get boxes, but yeah, you've got Grand Prix 2
I could just see Top Gun on the back.
UFO Enemy Unknown, Magic. Oh, wow. Pizza Tycoon. I remember Pizza Tycoon. And oh, wow. That's so cool.
Isn't it cool? I thought it was cool.
Blown away by that, man. That's just stepping to the side of the podcast. That's absolutely made my day. That is a thing of beauty.
So I'm going to tell you the 10th question that you would have been asked had you not won a prize. What connects Small Soldiers and Star Trek?
Robert Picardo.
Yeah.
The EMH in Voyager.
Correct.
And he plays the chip technician in Small Soldiers.
Yeah, well done. That was going to be my saving
Risk it for a biscuit question.
Risk it for a biscuit question. So well
that
done,
was a
Tom.
really good quiz. I really enjoyed that, dude.
Good, I'm glad. I don't know if there's a...
Honestly, the prizes just blown me away. I'm really, really happy with those. I'm so happy, ecstatic with it. So thank you, dude.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Let me give you diabetes again then.
Yeah, go on then. How long have we been going for? Let's get a little clock check.
About an hour and 15 at the moment. So we've got quite a bit in there. So this is Milky Bar Gold.
Milky Bar Gold. Okay, cool. You've gone all golds.
Yeah, well, the last couple aren't, but the last couple are actually very fond childhood memories, so we'll enjoy those. But yeah, this is Milky Bar Gold. Now, it doesn't say with Caramac, so I'm going to assume because the company that made this doesn't have the rights to use Caramac. This will be Nestle.
Well, Nestle's no. Who had Caramac?
Caramac's dairy milk now, I think.
Well, this has got a Caramac in Nestle. Nestle.
Oh, I don't know.
Sorry,
then.
the Gorgonite.
But there you go.
Gorgonite
You can have a chunk of this. I'm not expecting this to be anywhere near as nice as those munchies, because those munchies were just next level.
What I want to say about white chocolate, I don't know, it's just me. So I really like Kinder Eggs, which have got white chocolate in. But if I have just white chocolate on its own, I get a sore throat.
Interesting. I think you can be quite happy with that. That's nice. And that's got, I'll tell you what that's got. That has got the McVitie's Gold Bar aftertaste.
That's really good.
I'm really not sure which I'm going to let you keep one. I think I might let you keep the munchies. I might take the Milky Bar because that is
good, but I can tell you straight away, I've got that feeling in my throat from it.
Because it's the white chocolate. Well, I don't get that, you see. So
I've never known what that is. It's only white chocolate. It does it to me.
But very
not
weird.
Kinder Eggs. I wonder if it's because of the mix.
But
of the
Kinder
two.
Eggs white chocolate isn't white chocolate.
Yeah.
It's a
the
very
munchies
different.
didn't do that to me. But yeah, that's got the same aftertaste.
That is really... Oh, right. Okay. So if you take anything from today's episode, anything with the word gold at the moment is fucking delicious. Oh, yeah. Oh, I've got a pussy between
Whisper
my
golds.
legs again. Oh,
They're really good. I had one of them yesterday. Oh.
So you know Mars do the extra bar, so you can get a duo, a double-decker duo or Twix duo. No, it's Twix Extra or Mars duo. They took over the king-size bars. Mm-hmm. So whereas you get a normal Mars bar, you get the Mars duo now. So it's two...
I know you don't normally like duos. I quite like duos. I think you said you didn't like the idea of a duo.
No, I want the king size back because it just felt like one big one. They now do, and my brain's just farted there. So
whispers.
A twirl extra. So basically, imagine a twirl, add another half, and just make it two very long twirl sticks, right. And now you can buy those. That is a good idea. If they make the orange one into a twirl orange extra, oh yeah,
the orange twirl is like pretty good.
Oh, that's up there with Terry's chocolate orange. But this will blow. Do you like Terry's chocolate orange?
Yeah, I love the Terry's chocolate orange.
I think it's a superior chocolate. Yorkie orange tastes the same.
I've never had a Yorkie orange.
I hadn't until the other day, and it's like, I'll be buying more of these.
How long do you reckon a Yorkie advert would last nowadays?
It wouldn't. It wouldn't. And we know that. We know why. You can't even have a tongue-in-cheek thing. And whether or not you want to be accepting of it or not, you can understand why to an extent, because genuinely now people out there genuinely believe that's what they mean by it. So
yeah. It's like the Tango adverts with a fat bloke going around slapping people. You wouldn't see that anymore, would you?
The only Tango... Yeah, I do remember those adverts, but the one that I remember the most fondly is the bloke Velcro to the ceiling. And the train goes past and is he going to fall? Is he going to fall? And then the pigeon lands on him and you've just got the comments go, fat pigeon.
There's the bath and the trampoline that got him up there. But the train, I have to say, is late. Ah, now then. Could she be the one? Could she? Could she? No. I think for this young man, there's... Oh, cooey.
Yes! He's down! He's down! Fat pigeon! Apple!
You know when you've been tangoed.
Okay, what have you got next for me then?
So you've been doing a few gaming retrospectives, haven't you, on the website?
I've started doing that. So since buying the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus...
We'll get there. Yeah.
I've been playing way more games because I can sit in bed, T's going to sleep next to me if I'm sharing the bed with him that night, or if I'm waiting for something to compile or finish at work, I can sit there and just have a quick 5-minute session on an old game. And we both got so many games on ours. And I've just completed Super Mario Land, and it turns out I can still do it in under that 15-20 minute mark. I've just completed Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins, which amazingly solid game, and I'll do a review of that soon. But the one I'm still working through is Diddy Kong Racing on the N64. Yeah. And for me, that is the superior kart racer. Not Mario Kart, Diddy Kong.
We agree. That's what I wanted to talk about. It was basically just us telling all of you there is only one character kart racer, and it is Diddy Kong Racing.
Yeah, it has multiple vehicles. You've got good selection of characters, and there's a really good number of courses all in one game in 1990, whenever it was.
Have you played Mario Kart 64 on your Android? It just does not compare in any way.
No, it
graphically,
really doesn't.
Controls, every aspect of it is not as good.
Exactly. Right. So graphically, Diddy Kong wins. Control-wise, Diddy Kong wins. Soundtrack, Diddy Kong smashes Mario Kart over the head with a sledgehammer, buries his body, and then defecates on it every day.
Multiple vehicles.
Yeah, and the multiplayer game experience, the fact you've also got all the different multiplayer game types. So it's not just racing, you've got the little challenges that you've got to do to complete the single-player game. So you've got the... got to get a certain number of bananas back to your base, but every time you're shot, you lose. Or collect the eggs. And it's such a good
Having
game.
A story mode.
Yeah, the in-game story, absolutely.
Boss fights, in air quotes. You know, just everything about it. Okay, the only thing that you can say about Mario Kart is it has characters that you are familiar with.
Yeah, and the tracks are very good. And the one thing I would say that maybe Mario Kart, it's in one way when you're playing kind of single player and you're just trying to complete the game, the elastic banding is a benefit. You know what I mean by elastic banding, don't you? If you don't, it basically is the way that if you're last, you still have a chance of winning or coming in a decent position because how the game
you forwards,
changes it. Whereas Diddy Kong, that's not the case. It is unforgiving.
It'll punish you,
And I will say, it has taken me a long time to get where I am. I've probably been playing a good 5 or 6 hours worth. And I'm on the last kind of world now before I unlock Super Pig or whatever his name is. And I've got to do the coin challenge. So I've done the first loot round, beaten the dragon once. Now I've got to go do the last 4 tracks again and collect the 6 coins for it. And it's so unfair. I mean, things like when you get to the zippers, if you let go of accelerate, hit the zipper and then put your foot down again, it's like turbos from F-Zero and the speed up points on Mario Kart. You get more speed. Yet if you've got one of the AI characters right in front of you, and they hit the zipper, or even if they don't hit the zipper, but you hit the zipper perfectly and get the maximum speed from it, you still don't catch up with them. That is such a cheating game. But once you've learnt the mechanics and realise how to do certain things, it then all makes sense. Even though the computer cheats, the game makes sense. Now, the hardest boss for me that I remember was always that sodding octopus going around laying bubbles in the second time you come across him, which makes it's impossible to beat him, in theory, if you race normally, because you cannot avoid those bubbles at all costs. And you get hit by one of them, you might as well restart the race. It was only recently when I realised, rather than really punish myself and try and get all the speed ups and do it like that, if you just hug the wall to your left, that's it. That's all you needed to do.
You can avoid the whole thing. Did you know there's a little trick with the little speed ups? Take your finger off the accelerator.
Well, that's what I've just said.
Yeah, sorry.
You take your accelerator off.
Sorry, I missed that little bit.
Go through it and then press it again, and there it goes
just
green
that
and
very
rainbow.
moment, you get that little boost. Another thing about like collecting the because there isn't as many items. It's basically guns or boost.
Yeah.
It's got a thing you can put down too, isn't it?
Yeah, so you've got mines, you've got the magnets, you've got the speed up, or you've got the missiles. But then all 4 of those things can be upgraded 3 times, which I always thought was weird on the missile. So you get first a missile, then you get the homing missile, but then you get 10 missiles that basically you'll never hit anything with.
Yeah, so you keep it at the homing missile. You can override it too. Like you can kind of accidentally get a boost when you want it to save up your weapons.
Exactly. So like, I'm saving up I've hit the blue bloody balloon. I've lost all my work.
Yeah.
Or I've got the 10 rockets. I'm coming near the end. All I've got to do is spam the rocket. I'm going to take out whatever's in front of me and get to the end. Yeah. And then you hit that blue boost button. It's like, restart the race.
Yeah.
But I still enjoy it more than Mario Kart.
Yeah, I still do. It's way better.
I do love the new Mario Kart on Switch. Really, really good. But I still prefer Diddy Kong.
Yeah, I really wish they'd do a new Diddy Kong. That'd be so cool.
I'm not even sure if I want a new Diddy Kong. I'd be happy with a remastered Diddy Kong as long as they kept the tracks and the game the same and just remaster it with modern graphics. I'd be happy.
We've already talked about privately what they did to the 3DS version of.
Yeah, we won't get any further on that one, but I'm guessing people will know exactly what that is if they've been a fan of the
It's
game.
a really good version of it.
It is a really good version, and the 3DS handles it amazingly well. And you could say the same with things like on the GameCube, Luigi's Mansion is an amazing game. Luigi's Mansion 2 on the... Oh, you see, I never had the 3DS. I had the 2DS because the 3DS just gave me headaches. It's a really good game on the 2DS, and it looks it's brilliant. It's really, really good.
I always turned the 3D off for the same thing. I couldn't actually look at it.
You see, before it all shut down, obviously, I bought the 2DS XL. I think I managed to pick it up for 30 quid. Mm-hmm. And it's just a really good screen, really good set. I've played it on the plane several times when I was doing loads of European trips. I was just really pleased with it. But I have lost a lot of respect for Nintendo. With them closing the Wii shop. Well, what about your old game? Well, they're gone now. We're closing the DS shop. Okay, what about my old game? No, they're gone now. That's disgusting. You can't do that to people. And let's face it, you're Nintendo. Do you really need to close those shops? Yeah. Especially if you're not going to then make those games available elsewhere. If they turned around and said, oh, but if you buy a Switch, the virtual shop will have all your games in and that will be compatible, fine. But they haven't. They've just turned it off and said, if you haven't downloaded it by that date, it's gone. And what happens if that console dies? Which will inevitably happen. Yeah. It's all gone. You've lost your history of games that you've purchased. Yeah. And that really upsets me, actually. I hate that. I mean, that was your first post, wasn't it, on the site?
They've got Xbox closing theirs down. It sucks. But with the Nintendo stuff, it wouldn't be so egregious if the stuff they were emulating on their own consoles was emulated well. Everyone that was getting the Ocarina of Time was saying how dreadful it was.
It is. It's awful.
And can I say, it runs beautifully on the Retroid.
It does run very nicely on the Retroid.
All of the N64 stuff runs beautifully.
And I know there's loads of arguments about this, and I'm just going to come out and say it. Anyone that moans about emulation, fine, feel free. But when companies like Nintendo make it impossible to get games that you used to play in any legal way, what else are you meant to do? And like you said, and if they're unwilling to actually put any effort in and make their console emulate it properly and decently, again, what are you meant to do? Yeah. So no, stuff them. Yeah. Not a fun fact, but there's only one place I will buy digital from, other than things like iTunes, Amazon. That's the only thing I'll buy digital is a film every now and then. It is a rare occasion. Because ultimately, Amazon are probably not going to disappear at least any time in our future that you can imagine. So I don't have a problem with like putting down £6-7 for a DVD that I want to watch then and there. Yeah. But watch it just digitally. But I think Sky had got it right when you could buy the digital and they post you the DVD as well. That's what they should be doing. But there you go. It's just,
I haven't done it well, but I was doing buying keeps specifically for that reason.
It's just a scumbag tactic, isn't it?
You get the ease of it being readily available digitally, but then you do still
if they
have
switch
that
off,
Blu-ray
you've got
or
the
DVD.
copy.
I've got it. And same with games. I only buy the games physically. The only time I haven't is recently I brought that I brought it on the PlayStation Store because I couldn't get hold of the copy.
Yeah, exactly.
Physical copy. And I just thought, well, okay, I'm just going to get it. And yeah, it is nice to have it digitally because you don't have to worry about changing discs and stuff. But yeah, something happens, I've lost that game.
Exactly. And that's the thing, isn't it? Once they shut those servers down, those games are gone. And then you're reliant on then going and buying second hand. And I think it was Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5. The game basically was so badly done on the disc. The content of the disc basically is the demo of the game. And the day one patch was like 50 gig. And it was a huge outroar over it. It was one of the first times there was kind of this massive issue about it, that this had happened. And yeah, basically they issued like a 50 or 60 gig day one update. It wasn't a bug update. It was the game because all you'd got on the disc was the demo. Yeah, and it was a bug-ridden demo as well. Mm. So yeah, if you go digital, it's once it's gone, it's gone. And especially in the case of dodgy games like the one we just said, if the disc is crap, then you're really screwed.
Yeah. Right. I'm desperate to play for you the last birthday secret I have.
Right, go on then, because we are now coming up to an hour and a half. If not, we're well past an hour and a half.
Hello, Tom.
Hi.
Hello, Tom. This is Paul Gannon.
And I'm Eli Silverman.
And we're from a podcast you may have heard of called Cheap Show. Yeah, that's right. And we've been asked to leave you a birthday message.
Oh, happy birthday, mate!
No, I'm going to go over it if you're going to be a prick. We might be a bit late. I've realised we might be late.
Oh,
but
whose
we're leaving
fault is
you
that?
It's not mine. It's not my
Paul's
fucking fault.
Nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me.
Yeah, nothing is to do with you, is it? Anyway, thank you, Tom, for all the support you've given the podcast over the past, forever you've been listening.
Thank you.
Thanks for everything
and the
you've
Derek
done
stories.
before this, on camera, off camera, on camera, off camera. All the work you've done.
The Derek stories
has been brilliant and much appreciated, and it's been an integral part of the DNA of our show. So, You want to say anything? Happy birthday? Say
Happy
it.
birthday.
Happy birthday. Don't ask again to do this. We won't be doing it unless you pay us £15,000.
I'll do it for free.
Eli just said he'll do anything for free.
I'll do it for free. And I probably wouldn't forget to do it either, like Paul did. Nothing to do with me.
What do you mean, like when you forgot to bring that bed
That
sheet?
one occasion!
Yeah, but it was more than that.
Several years ago.
Just saying.
Let it go.
Let it go. Let it go. Eli,
What?
put your pants on now. We've finished.
Oh, he's been having sex with me.
I didn't say that. I just said. Oh, you know what?
when we've been
Forget
recording
You've
this, he's
ruined
been
it.
doing me.
No, I haven't. Grow up. Grow up.
Well, you said about my pants.
Grow up. I just meant you had no pants on.
I know,
There's
because
no
you've been
sexual
asked.
activity implied.
It was very much implied.
In your head.
In my bum.
In your head. In your head. Donkey.
my arsehole.
Just fine. Stop it.
Oh, absolute legends. I'm going to have words with Paul about that. That's absolutely fantastic. Thank you, dude.
He did forget too. I had to remind him on Easter Monday. I was like, because I said to him, I was like, the guy, Paul said he was, because I asked for like a video message. He was, oh, we'll do it when we next record. And I saw on Twitter, he was like editing it. I was like, oh, he must have then recorded it, so I'll wait. And I was like, I'm not going to bother him over the Easter weekend. I'll just leave it. And then he got to Monday, so I'm going to have to ask him because nothing's come yet. And then I think he forgot.
You know what? The one thing I will say, Paul works so hard to get that podcast out every week.
Yeah.
That's amazing, though. That's absolutely genius.
I have to show you the Instagram chat feed between me and him. Because when he says, like, you know, I'll post it in the chat room, and I'm like, you're going to have to tell me what the chat room is. Because I thought it was like an extra, like, I know what a chat room is, but I was like, I didn't know what he meant, if it was like some kind of Twitter thing.
Because I've got to say, I'm so used to Paul saying, I don't know how to do this. How do I do this? So to hear that it was you.
It was me asking him, like, because I was like, Tom does all of this. You're just going to have to deal with me.
I'm very sorry to say this, Paul, but that is blind leading the blind here.
Yeah. So that's it.
Oh, that's wonderful, mate. Thank you so much. Honestly, that's really meant a lot to me. Thank you.
That's all right. Yeah, there's a little cut in the middle because it's 2 messages, and I had to figure out a way of how to pull the audio out of an Instagram bloody message list, which you can't do. I had to. Anyway, it's a whole thing.
What we'll do is if you forward me those,
I've got all the files. I will put them on our OneDrive, and you can get everything.
I will put them over the top of the recording and actually put the actual files on there, so it's much clearer than the phone. So that's awesome, dude. Thank you so much.
That's all right. You didn't get to hear if you got an incorrect answer.
That's incorrect.
Yeah, she did loads.
She is an absolute card. You can see why she makes me so happy, dude, because she is just, she's so good. So good, bless her.
That's it, mate. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much. Now,
next week.
I've got you saying on our little our card in front of me that I'm going to say what not next week's, but next 2 weeks episode is our bi-monthly.
Do we know what it is?
We haven't got a clue. We haven't actually discussed what it's going to be. Now, we could do film part 2 and just get it out of the way. Or we could do something completely different. I don't know what you want to do.
I imagine there'll be a lot of Star Trek talk because I would have watched episode 9 by then.
Yeah, and by that point, episode 10 will have also come out.
I won't have been able to watch 10 by
Well,
then.
10's next Friday. And we'll be
so we would have
recording the
finished
week
it.
after
Okay, yeah, so we would have finished Picard then. So there'll be a lot of Picard talk.
Let's have a Star Trek episode.
Yeah.
Because I'd got the kind of who would be your bridge crew. And
Let's do that.
let's have a bit of fun with Star Trek. And I know it's very geeky, but I'm sure we'll find some way of ruining it and making it highly rude in some way. And then after that, we'll go back to the film special, I think.
Yeah, cool. So everybody, hope you enjoyed that.
I certainly did. Thank you very much.
Please follow us on Twitter.
Chitter. Follow us on Chitter.
Well, let's face it, a lot of people do call it shitter.
Yours coming in. Chitter.
Okay, so it's @_channel84 and @flatrob. Our Facebook page is the Channel 84 Variety Show. Our Instagram is _channel84. Our website, we can find lots of stuff, and Tom has been going nuts on there in the last week, is channel84.co.uk. You can email us at podcasts@channel84.co.uk, and please share this podcast with your friends, and you can use this link, pod.link/channel84, and that has every single way of listening to the podcast on it.
Absolutely. So yeah, no, bang on, mate. You nailed the social readout beautifully.
Thank you, darling.
I'm going to leave it up to you from every week now. I'm going to put little errors in there each week to see if you pick them up.
Did change a bit of spelling on my flat Rob there. I don't like the capital R on Rob, so I lowercased it.
Not that anyone has seen it except for us.
I won't notice if you change any of these because I don't know your Twitter handle. I don't actually know the Instagram handle.
Fair enough. And can I actually fit us both in here as I move away? Sorry, just taking a selfie there because why not? And I should actually be concentrating. Yeah, so bye everyone.
Love you.
Actually, I'll go for the it was Sooty, I think, used to end this. Bye everyone. Bye.
I don't know about Sooty with your bloody YouTube thing you did.